Hi there. Greetings. Hello, everyone. It's day 4 of our Facebook challenge, our positivity week. Who's with me? If you're here live, throw me an emoji. Give me a hi, give me a high five, give me a heart. If you're watching on replay, just give me a hashtag replay. I love to know who's out there, who's tracking, who's watching. And I so appreciate this audience that allows me to channel my own positivity in a really challenging time and be able to share with you. So you ready for day 4? Today is all about gratitude. And this is another lovely lesson that we can focus on. So excited to bring it to you. And what I'm going to talk about is the components of gratitude. That gratitude, so many of us think of gratitude instantly as thankfulness. It's that which we feel grateful to have or thankful that is. And while that's certainly true, and it's going to be the first thing that I talk about as the components of gratitude, what I want to talk about is other elements that comprise this feeling or concept of gratitude, which is sort of esoteric. Like, what is gratitude? So that when you understand the components that are underlying, it expands our own broader sense of what's possible for us in gratitude and how we can cultivate it, how we can, fluff the pillows even further, and how we can up the amplitude of gratitude in our lives. And I just want to start by saying, it's hard to feel blissful, sweet gratitude when you're suffering. It's really hard when you're really stuck in a hard place, if you're going through circumstances that are challenging, if your basic needs are being threatened. And for many of you that are joining me this week, it's been a hard couple of weeks. Some of you have lost your jobs. Some of you are afraid of losing income or health, or you have people in your lives that are suffering, or there's just resonant fear in the world around you. And I just want to honor the fact that I'm not taking this type of coaching lightly to negate the challenges that you might be feeling, and just to recognize that we might all feel a little court low at this time. So know that I'm not being insensitive intentionally about suffering that you might be going through. But I'm going to try to take you through a teaching that can help support you in a higher vibe place that will serve you. Okay, so here we go. You as a person who has a community, you offer support and perspective and wisdom and guidance to your people. Especially if you're here in this group, you're a leader of sorts. You might be an entrepreneur, owner, founder of a company. And in that way, you're very obviously a leader. But maybe you're more subtly a leader in your family, or with your friend group, or with a partner, or with your fur babies, or anytime that you interact with the wider world, you can stand as an influencer, whether it's with one or many or just with yourself. And the reason why we're doing this positivity work is for you to be able to provide that support and perspective for others. You first need to get it for yourself. You first have to fill up your own cup before you can be ready to be giving to others. And I think we all understand that. So you need centering and positive perspective so that you can do this for others. And that's why this practice is important for you and for us as leaders. Does that make sense? This is the grounding for why we do work in gratitude. So let's talk about the components now. And I've got 5 for you to consider today, and a myriad of challenges that you can take on. And the first one is what I mentioned before. The most obvious form or component of gratitude is thankfulness. It's the thing that is here, right? The component that is so obvious about feeling grateful and being in gratitude is being thankful and feeling thankful that we have so much abundance. It can be thankful for the things that we have, for the people in our lives, for the food on the table, for the gas in the car, for the pleasures of our home, for a really good pillow. I mean, there's so many things that you can be thankful for. And so the beginning stages of a gratitude practice is to come into clarity with what thankfulness feels like. And so one of your challenges for this particular day could be to write in your journal. And some people have a whole gratitude journal, a practice where daily there is a simple framework that helps you come into contact with thankfulness. And it looks like this. You wake up in the morning and you are thankful for 3 things in your life. You feel gratitude and gratefulness for 3 things. And if times are really, really hard, you can be thankful and grateful for your warm bed, thankful and grateful for the first breath you take, thankful and grateful for a new day, thankful and grateful for whatever it is that you cast your eyes upon in your room that is something good. That's like if we're really starting from a low vibration, low resonant place and times are tough. And then in your journal, you can expand and think about 3 things that you're looking forward to. The 3 things that you're looking forward to, like today or in your life, which helps you sort of get into an aspirational mode of being thankful and grateful. And then you open up your journal when you come back to your bed at night and you summarize the day with 3 great things that happened in your day that you're thankful and grateful for. And if it's just that you get to lay down again, that's number 1, that's okay too. That you lived through another day, those are all things that you can be thankful and grateful for. So, this is our first component to gratitude. Again, I'm explaining that gratitude is so much more than thankfulness. There are other elements that are present when we are in gratitude. And so I'm going to expand those and tease those out and talk about them and explore them so that we can milk them and go find them in our lives and create more possibility for ourselves in gratitude. By knowing what these components are, we're able to cultivate them. So you ready for number 2? Bring it on. The next component that is present when we are grateful is happiness. You might be like, duh, Joe, got that. When I'm grateful, I'm feeling good. But here's a challenge for you. If happiness is sort of here, can you spiral up into a higher frequency, a greater expansiveness? Can you dare to explore your happiness towards joy? Can you think about that which you're grateful for, maybe something you just wrote about in your journal, and see that it makes you happy and raise that feeling to joy? That when you're feeling happiness and joy, you're probably also feeling grateful. So what in your life can you cast your thoughts on that you can focus upon to feel happiness and raise it up to joy? Pets can do this really easily for us. Anything that is in our life that naturally makes us feel lighter is a great place to go looking for how to milk something for joy. Okay, so that's the second component, happiness and joy. And if you're feeling strong enough and brave enough to raise your happiness to the frequency and higher vibe of joy. The third component of gratitude is creativity. This is where if you're feeling grateful, you have inspired thoughts. You have creative inspiration about other ways and things that you can do and be. It's a more expansive spirit when you're in gratitude. So you can find ways to be creative to create gratitude. You can think of it as anything that is a joyous action implemented can bring gratitude. And when you're in gratitude, you might have the urge for joyous action. This could be, dancing in your living room to awesome music. It can be going for a drive with windows open and fresh air, listening to your favorite tunes. It can be cooking, creating something in the kitchen. It can be any sort of making that you do. If you like to play music or create something artistic or garden, it's the expression of your joy implemented. And this is a component of gratitude. That when you're loving gardening and seeing your flowers grow, and when you're loving making art or playing your favorite song on the guitar, you are in that spirit of creativity and joyous action being implemented. And it's not just the doing it, it's how you feel when you do it. It's getting into the fun, getting into the inspired feeling that brings that sense of gratitude. So that's a third thing. Third component to gratitude is feeling creative. The fourth is a really interesting one, and it's about love. It's not, many people feel like our most basic need is to be loved. But there are wisdom traditions that believe that it's sort of a little bit twisted, and it's not just being loved, it's being loving. It's having the expression of your love being received by something or someone else that is truly the most gratitude raising, gratitude enhancing way to be. That the idea here is that you are already loved, that you are already held by the universe, that you're already here in physical form. And that the broader perspective is that you don't need anyone to love you because you are. It's a kind of a big inspired moment for you. Regardless of your spiritual beliefs or your religious beliefs, that's a tenet of many spiritual laws, is that you are already loved. So what can you express your love towards? That you have grace and gratitude when you can express your love. That when you're expressing your love, you appreciate yourself, you appreciate the other, you appreciate life. That when you're in feeling loving space, you are capable of gratitude and just feeling so grateful. I feel like this is a nice one. Explaining this is like when you see people at the airport reconnecting, when you are in joyous anticipation and celebration of reconnecting with somebody that you love so dearly, that you're so happy to see again, that you can't wait to touch and to hold and to just be with. This is the essence of this type of gratitude, this component of gratitude of sharing your love and being able to express your fondness and your feeling for others. The fifth and final point that I'm going to focus on today, that is a component of gratitude, is feeling surrender. Now, this one is sort of like when you're really in the spirit of, let's say you're at a cliff overlooking the ocean at sunset, and everything, all your senses are so saturated with this feel-good moment that you feel some unity. You feel like a breakdown of separateness, and you feel a oneness. That this feeling of surrender can be such a component of gratitude. It can be when you're doing your favorite sport and you're in flow. You're skiing on the most amazing powder, or you're riding your bike down this hill, or you're experiencing a gorgeous overview from a hike, that you can feel this sense of unity, oneness, completion, connectedness. It's this idea of surrender. That in those moments we feel so connected and so generous that we feel like we can be connected and share freely, and that we are not separate, we are connected. This is sort of a positive overwhelm feeling, and it doesn't come often. These are feelings that are present when people talk about a peak experience. When we're so opened up with compassion or a dissolve of boundaries and we just feel united. Some people talk about this, the first moment that they see their baby after it's born, or the complete bliss and joy of a perfect moment. When in your life have you felt that sort of openness and connectedness and oneness that is also a gratitude feeling, but is an expansive surrender? So your challenge today is, of these 5 things, choose one or more and spend 10 minutes really being in that space of the component of gratitude and see how you feel. I'll summarize them again. We're talking about thankfulness, happiness and joy, feeling creative, feeling loving, feeling surrender. Find something to muse on, express, remember, contemplate, or focus on for 10 minutes and see how you feel. Write it down in your journal, and that's your challenge for today. If you've been tracking, tomorrow will be our last day in this series of our Positivity Challenge, and guess what? There are prizes. If you've been tracking, I want to reward you for participating, and I have a surprise for you tomorrow. If you want more of this support in your life, if you want to know how leaders are able to find this vibe and then channel it out to their people, just PM me, give me a quick note in the comments below. I want to know more. This is the work that I do with leaders, is I help them find their centered, calm, full self so that then they can lead effectively to others. And there's no time like now for us leaders to get that going on. So, hope this helps you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.